So yeah, man, you know what it is. Welcome to the Desert Podcast. You're hanging out with Caesar Rodrigo.
Yeah.
We back here. Shout out to everybody that made it back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, subscribe. Subscribe, leave a comment when we're done with whatever we're going to be talking about. Today, I'm hanging out with... Yeah.
You're hanging with your girl Mosh, D. So like I'm not gonna give you guys my nickname, I'm just gonna stick to my real names like that.
What's your nickname?
My nickname Kichidinchi.
Kichidinchi.
Come on, my name is too long. Kina Mo, Kina Mosh, Kina Mosho, Shopi. There's just too many. So we'll stick to Mosh.
Which one do you like?
I think I like Mosh because it's the one I use on all my social media platforms. So I think Mosh.
Did you really like it, or you just grew onto
I
it?
grew into loving it. I think I like Mo because it sounded, like it could fit in
Mo.
everywhere. Yeah, like Mo.
Mo, okay, just too commercial.
Do you get what I mean? So Mosh was a bit different.
Shopi, I like Shopi.
Yeah, Shopi is like a family one. It's the one I get from my mom, my aunt. So she missed that one, but it's fine. Whichever one works, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So what do you do?
So what do I do?
Yeah.
Damn. What I do is currently I'm a junior tax practitioner, which is somebody who basically deals with taxes. But I don't work at SaaS. I'm like a third party, but yeah, I'm currently a junior tax practitioner. Working for an accounting firm here at home, here in Burgersport. I know we don't mention names, but that's what I'm saying, like here at home.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I do push, hustles on my side. Like, obviously, the company I work for deals with strictly companies. So what I do is I work with individuals when it comes to their taxes. So that's part of my side hustle, where I make extra money.
What do you do for them? Like, what do they usually come to you for? People.
Yeah, so like with individuals, they normally come at around this time of the year. Tax season. This is when I make more e-filing.
Yeah.
Because the Mobi app, So obviously during this time it's when I'm of good use because people want their returns filed. Then I help them with that. Or maybe somebody has a place to be at and manyaka tax clearance as an individual or whatever, I do that as well. But I basically do that on my side hustle. But when it comes to being at the office, I basically deal with everything related to business. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like every single thing that has to do with business, you name it, I'll figure it out.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you love what you do? You sound like
Yo,
you sound like
yo, dude.
You sound like you really love what you do.
I love what I do because I got so lucky and blessed because I actually work in a field I studied in, which is a rare thing.
In South Africa. How messed up is
It's
that?
so rare, dude.
How messed up is
No,
that?
exactly. Like I got so flippin' blessed and lucky because I studied accounting in varsity, and that's what I'm doing. And in varsity, my biggest passion was taxation. And when I got out of varsity, when I got obviously this was not my first job out of varsity, but like eventually when I got this, I was like to my boss, dude, I want to do accounting, I want to do tax, because like I really love tax, I enjoyed tax, and she's like, whatever you want to do in tax, we'll fund it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
yeah. I love what I do. I love it so much. Like it's a hard thing. Like I love it.
You love it.
Yeah, I really love it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what I don't know, see bag.
Guys, let me tell you. Look, at the end of the day, you might bag 10 mil and misuse it. I might bag 5K and spend it right, use it right, But I'm not making the money I'd want to make. Obviously, we all would like an increment or whatever, but like, hey, COVID, but it's good. I know how to manage my finances. I know how to,
So like, how has that affected affected you? Like, what's panic? Yeah. So how has? I mean, are you working from home? Are you experiencing any of those vibes where you have to work home? Did that kind of like be like balfokoleja mo fokoleja mata or anything like that?
Okay, so with us, what happened was because I started working there last year, and what happened was they would say, okay, you only work on Saturdays, okay, sharp till the end of the year, because I only started working in like August till December. Then in the beginning of the year, they were like, oh no, you guys must come back full force, you must all be there, you know, type of vibes. And I worked Monday to Friday as per the usual until recently, like maybe June, where my boss is like, guys, hey, this COVID thing, because there was when I leave this thing out, hey, third wave, hey, third wave. He's like, okay, you guys will work 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. So that means a week that I'm there, somebody should not be there in it. You get what I mean? So like right now, like next week, I'm not in. And then that other week, I'm out. And then that other week, I'm in. That type of a vibe. Like I'm in this week, out that week. In this week. So that it didn't change our salaries. We still get our bonuses.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
because,
like it?
yeah, but then at the end of the day, I don't think my field would really get you know, it would be a field where no more like what's in year or whatever, because at the end of the day, you literally can work from home, you can still function from home. So me not being at the office, like the week that I'm not in, it doesn't mean I'm not working. Like I'm home, but I'm working, I'm being productive, you know.
Sorry about
So
that.
it doesn't change it, okay?
I forgot to go on
So good.
flight mode.
Now we're back.
So
Yeah, it doesn't affect.
like, what about you? Like you yourself having to be in and having to be out. Your own personal experience besides work, like the finances and everything. Has that knocked you out of place anyhow, anywhere?
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie, because working from home has made me realize that I function very well at night. Like in the AMs. That's when I'm flipping active.
After 12.
Yo, dude, you know, I love the silence. I love not having to deal with the next person or whatever. So it has tempered with my schedule a bit, because I'll be working like and then I'll sleep like 5 in the morning.
What? You know what time you wake up?
Like, and then but remember, I'll be working from home, so I can wake up at like 12. I can wake up at 1. But then it gets tricky when now it's my week to go to work, you know, because then I'll push myself to sleep at least by 2 a.m. so that, you know, by 6 o'clock I'm up and I can go to work. And the next time it's yes, you know, I have to now get into place with that. Besides that, I honestly love it. I've learned that I'm more productive working from home than at the office. And also on a personal level, it's saved me a lot of money, because let me tell you something about being at the office. Like you don't always get cafeteria most of the time. You just Wakey Wednesday, you know. Hey, what? You know?
What was I cafeteria?
Dude, like I'm not a morning person. I'm always late in the morning. So imagine if now I want to make stuff.
Do it the night before.
I don't understand the concept of making scuffing the night before. I don't know who messed up my head like that, but I don't understand the concept of
what don't you understand?
I don't know, like I get people do that, but I just feel like in my head, in flavor, that's just me. It's nothing. I'm not saying it's a real thing.
You have to explain to yourself.
So
we're
like,
with you.
Yeah, so like for me, that's just what it is. So I don't understand the concept of what is scuffing is and then the next day. Sometimes cause is fine. I know it doesn't add up, but you know what? I'm not gonna explain myself, but that's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, I don't do scuffing in the morning.
Okay.
I'm always late. Yeah.
Do you have friends?
At work. In general.
In general.
Oh my word! Like I have a lot of friends.
You have a lot of friends.
I have a lot
so
of
you're
friends.
fake.
I'm not fake. What the heck? No, I'm not fake.
But people who have a lot of friends are fake.
That is not true, guys. Don't listen to everything you read on social media or hear on social media.
Not social, even before. Like
no, but that is not. Who said that? It's not true. How does attracting energies make you fake? if anything is the one that's attracted to you that's likely to be fake than you. I don't know. I don't believe that having a lot of friends mean you're fake. It doesn't mean you're fake. You're not fake. You just, a lot of people like
gravitate to
they
you.
do.
Yeah.
And just what if you got like the people by long like, you know how everyone is like, yo, I'm losing friends, I want genuine friends. What if you're getting those people who are all saying, I want genuine friends, I want genuine, so you have all the genuine people in the world. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, like that's also possible, you know. So I don't believe, I have a lot of friends like you all. Like don't ever don't ever ask me to name it. But then again, with me, what makes my friendships easier is because everybody has a circle, but I have a lot of little circles. I probably have 100 circles, and in every circle there's 3 people. Yeah, that sounds like 300 friends, but but my point is, I have all these little circles where in every circle there's maybe 4, there's 3, there's 2. But also the tricky part about circles with 3 is there's this thing where there's a circle of 3 friends, or the other one is talking with the other one about the other one. And just cut that person off, guys. It's not that deep. Like, but I have a lot of friends. I do.
How are the dynamics within those circles? Are they healthy relationships? Like, what are they built on?
They're very healthy. Like I'm saying, with me, it's different circles. I have friends from church. Genuine friends from church. And I'm not saying friends from church in the concept that if that person maybe leaves my church, we're no longer friends because we met at church. No. We met at church and we became like friends, like my friends, you know. And then I have friends no longer like who our friendship grew with time. Like we really got close. And then I have friends from school, like high school, those friends that I still talk to. I have friends from varsity. Do you get what I mean? Like every way I have friends. If I go to Polokwane, I have Polokwane friends. If I go to Nelspruit, I have Nelspruit friends. You know, there's no place in South Africa that I would go and I think I'd struggle. Like,
where do you think that comes from? Like,
in what sense?
You're not take out everywhere. Like, no matter what space you enter, you'll be able to make genuine
friendships,
interactions. Yeah, have people you can lean on.
I posted this on Twitter just yesterday or the day before because I was just going through my own emails and stuff.
You told.
I told that you know that I know I'm a genuine person. You know, I know I'm a good person.
Who lied to you?
But that's the thing. Why must you wait for somebody to tell you something? Do you get what I'm like? Why must you wait for somebody to tell you something? Now you come in, you're like, oh, now you're a bad person. Now I must sit home and think, oh my gosh, I'm a bad, and think about all the bad things that I did that make me a bad person. Because that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna think about all the bad things that I did that make me a bad person. But I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a genuine person. I know when I love somebody, I love full on and heavy. When I do something, I do it with every passion in my bone. When I have a friendship, I sacrifice my everything for that friendship. Do you get what I mean? Yes, I do get disappointed along the way. Things get nasty or whatever. But I know I'm a genuine person. So I attract the right energies. Not 100%, of course. But like, most of the time I attract the right energies and people gravitate, like you're saying, gravitate towards me, you know. So I think in every place I go to, I always, not that I'm intentional on making a friendship, but I'm always myself, you know. And then Mutu would be like, oh my gosh, you're so nice, you know what, next time you come this side, don't stress it, accommodation is sorted out. Ouch. You said it.
Hit you up.
You know, so I use such friendships and I've watched them grow. You know, I feel like it works for me. I do attract the right energies at the end of the day, and people like me.
What I'm asking is, do you know like why the way you are? The way is it just personality trait, or where does it come from? Was it the way you were raised, or like where does it come from?
It definitely comes from my mom. My mom is my mom. Okay, the only difference is my mom doesn't have a lot of friends, but everybody knows her. that type of a situation. Like, she doesn't have a lot of friends, but everybody knows her. And she has taught, even my little sister, she has taught us, when you give fully, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be your finances, but it can be your time, your talent, whatever it is that you give fully. Somebody's going to see it and love it, and you're going to attract the right people who connect to that thing, whatever it is. So she taught us that thing, and we've watched her live it. It's one thing to teach kids something and then, but it's another to live it and have them see it, So I definitely got it from my mom. My mom is a people's person. She goes out of her way for people. She has strong and healthy friendships, and she has good relationships with my kid. That's some of the little things that we don't notice when you're like, no man. But she has really, really, good relationships. She just loves people. I can't tell if it's because she's a teacher or sorry, mama. I don't know. But I know for a fact.
That's where you absorb.
I definitely got it from her, 110%.
I got it from my mom.
I got it from your mama. Yeah.
So when you're in relationships, isn't some of that character misused? Because you know how people are, human beings, if they see that mucho nice, like oh shit, if they see that you are very nice and you're very giving, nigga's gonna take and take.
It's misused.
Yeah.
Like, it's misused. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've had to have friendships where I'm actually telling umuntu to know, man, like, you just constantly want to feed off me. Like,
you tell them.
I've done that before.
You told someone.
Yeah.
How was the reaction?
Like, sometimes I'm just like, thank God I have people who understand.
Because sometimes you'll be trying to still meet from the partner, and they're watching. They're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, me. What?
But I think it's because I don't know. I think maybe it happened with the right person, and it made it easier for me to approach it because it wasn't an intense thing. It was just that, dude, I feel like you're always feeding off of me. Shit. Like every month end, go 200. And you get over. You get what I mean? Like, to what? Like, when is it not gonna be? like my thing is, whatever. Because the thing is, I struggle a lot with saying no. So if somebody says, "Hey, I'm in hospital now, I don't have food," obviously that's a good thing. I'll go. But now if you come at me and you're like, "Hey, I can a grocery, 500," and then I send you 500, and then and remember with me, I don't do that thing. You must give me back my money. Like, if you come to me and say, "May I please have 500?" I give you 500. If you say, "Please borrow me 200," I expect it to come back. Do you get what I mean?
People don't understand that. Those two statements. Like, can I please have 500? Can you please borrow me? Now, when you say borrow, I'm gonna want, like, even in my mind, in my budget, when I plan I'm gonna want my 500 back because you said you're borrowing it.
And me, I will text you and say, "Ow."
Exactly, my nigga.
You know what I mean?
Put me on my money. Where my shit at?
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it was hard, obviously, but it was smooth because I'm still friends with that person. And they were like, "Yeah, dude, you're right. Like, that's not cool."
That's like, people are very like, we don't know about people
know.
People
they know that they are using you.
They know.
If you think people don't know that they're using you, they know. They're just waiting for you to be like, "Dude, you're using me," and they're like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." You're like, "Oh,
exactly. Like, "Oh, me, die."
People know. Yeah. Like, we're too old to not know that we're doing certain things. We know when we do certain things. You know whether it's good, bad, right, wrong.
People know.
But yeah, it's honestly, with some friendships, I see it and then I just move away from that, But with others, I actually approach it and be like, "No, dude, this is what it is. I don't like this. I don't appreciate this." And then you fix it like that.
What about in relationships now?
Ooh. Yeah, because in relationships, obviously, everything you do, you baby. You don't realize that it's toxic.
You don't.
I don't think there's ever been a time in my life where I was in a relationship and I realized that I was in a toxic relationship until I got out.
When you're in it, you'll never see.
Yeah.
Until you step out, you're like,
so,
hey, wait.
So is this what I was going through? Was I okay with this? And that's why you'd see somebody who's in a toxic relationship and then you'd be able to be like, you're not toxic, and then they don't see it and they're like, we're not stale. But
when you're in it, it's too hard to see.
It's something else. But in relationships, it was probably abused. But I'm saying,
have you also, you've never gotten to a point where you see it while you're in it. It's only after.
It's only after.
Oh shit.
No, or maybe like, oh, wait, can I actually just
you
like,
and you're like, oh,
why
it's
am I
because
never
this person
broke?
is not there anymore.
Like, why am I never broke? So, but out of that as well, like it's. I think with relationships it can be different because it's give and take. I think I've been in genuine relationships where, what you give is what you get. I've never had to tell someone, hey, buy me a gift, it's my birthday. Or something. No. Yo, what do you mean is it? Oh, sorry, maybe somebody's going through that. But I've never, But I think, but I don't think I've ever seen it in the moment. It's always been, it gets relate in that relationship where you're like, wow, this person was killing each. Whatever it is, whether it's with my time, whether it's with, because the thing is, sometimes you find yourself sacrificing your work hours for somebody, and that's not appreciated. And you don't leave the relationship just because that's not appreciated. You communicate it, and if it's not understood or well encoded or whatever, you just live that toxicity, and then eventually you get out, and then you wonder why you're not working under pressure. And then it's like, I do have time, or whatever. But I think I've never had to experience having to tell somebody that if you look at in the relationship, it's always been outside. Always outside of it. I think it's really all the time. Yeah. No, not guys, like
So you grew up Christian, or what I want to ask is, was like, because I'm gonna tell you my experience. Growing up, we obviously were kids. We went to church because our parents were going to church, and then we grow up. I didn't want to say.
No,
I didn't want to say barakape. And then you get to a point where you're like, I'm not so sure if this is my vibe. For some of us.
I don't know, but
I'm
not.
For some of us, not to say we do not believe, but just the whole paradigm it's set up, and then after that, just start being awkward. But what was it for you from growing up to where you are, where you've been in it? What was your whole experience, and how did you get to be in it?
Sure. Just like I was forced. You don't have the right to say no every Sunday morning. And you go to church. It's I don't want to say it's a forced gospel, for lack of a better word, but it's forced.
So it's a forced gospel.
Yeah, you kind of go there every day, and then you sing the filaje, or you get in the zone, And for me, I went through the whole thing where I was forced until it came to a certain point in life where I thank God for my mom. My mom is she's not pushy, she's not forceful. You do whatever you want to do. As long as you respect her, you respect people, and you don't forget the things that she taught you, basically. And it got to a point where she was like, okay, are you comfortable in this church? Would you like to explore other churches? Because obviously here you don't have a choice. I was not going to leave you at home, you know. So are you happy with this church? Do you want to move to a different church? Do you want to explore different churches? Such things. Like, we had such conversations with my mom. And for me it was, yeah, I'm happy with this church. I'm very happy with this church. I'm not complaining or whatever. And growing up, I explored what Christianity was for me on a personal level. Like, I didn't have to wait for somebody to tell me what it was. Like, for example, it's like Gonjalo Reka Pin Pop Ya Cherry, for example. You buy Pin Pop Ya Cherry and
then you pop the cherry.
You know that Pin Pop is very nice, you know, and then you eat it because obviously you know it's something that you enjoy. I know what wanna lay Pin Pop Ya Cherry because I see you eating Pin Pop Ya Cherry. But it's whether or not you like you offer it to me, whether I take it or don't take it, that's up to me. But because you know Wubosiva Pin Pop Yewe. Do you get what I mean? Because you know Wubosiva Pin Pop Yewe, you wanna share it with others. But if somebody doesn't wanna eat it, you can't force that person to eat it. But at the end of the day, that person knows so that's how my relationship with God grew. I knew he was there, and I would offer him to other people if they didn't want to do it. It's not that they don't know that God is not there. But you're not gonna act like you don't know. But it's up to you to taste it, to enjoy it, to get the fullness of the taste or whatever. So for me, I explored that pinball. You know, I recently, I mean within a gap of 5 years.
You were sucking it different.
Yeah, recently I realized Jesus is black. And then I know Azalani, come for me. You know, I realized, and I came home and I said to my mom, like, Mama, Jesus is black. You know? And she said, okay.
How did you find out?
So I was watching this pastor online, and I watch a lot of sermons online on YouTube. I was watching this pastor, and he actually gave us a beautiful history of how during those times it were black people who resided in those specific areas and everything. And it made sense, okay? So I am trying to argue with science or whatever, history and all those things. But like, I came home and I was like, Mama, Jesus is black, you know? And
how did she take it?
And she was very open-minded, you know. It's like, okay, like, yeah, but when they were in an area where there were black people during this time, blah 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 blah. She's like, no, man, you're actually right. What's going on, you know? And I'm like, yeah. So can I believe in a black Jesus, you know? Because there was that thing happened all my life. My Jesus was white, a Jewish man, you know, or whatever, who's white rather, and it definitely like I'm saying, it's an ongoing thing. You explore this thing, you explore Christianity, you explore religion, you explore, but you don't lose the belief. You get what I mean? You just get rid of the white lies and the black and the all those lies.
Exactly.
But, you know, but for me, I'm very loud about my Christianity, about my relationship with God. IDC who you are. I will shandara everything. I'll just talk about Jesus. I'll pray for you. I'm very bold and confident in my relationship with God and my relationship with Jesus and everything. So for me, I thank God that I was not forced. It was not a push. I got to explore God for myself on a personal level, and it worked for me. And that's why I never want anybody to feel the pressure, but I just want everybody to experience God for themselves on a personal level with no pressure, without feeling like I have to, but experiencing it. Because like I'm saying, it's dude, this thing is very personal. Like it's too personal. You can't experience it for somebody else. They have to.
I'm gonna say this, I know how you take it, but
may I not be offended? Let's hear it.
See, you know what the white lies did? They made Africans to stop believing in spirituality.
That's true.
Because everything that's spiritual and is connected to a whole lot of traditions that are black and African that book, that they also they retranslated. They retranslated.
That I know.
They retranslated. They changed a whole lot. To fit the white master. To fit the white master. They made African traditions look evil.
Evil. Yeah, that's true. Madimon.
I was like
That's the word.
like our traditions are demonic. And what we do not understand, this is what I've been learning from watching Abafundis. But man, that pastor come on.
And make it silent, I think make it sure.
The smart
I know
one,
him.
Dr. Mangan,
But I know
yes, he made me realize something, and I've been hearing a lot of times because people think traditional, like, you see, when you pray, when you pray, it's you connecting to a higher energy, a higher energy, a higher power. So how our ancestors used to access that, they had their own belief system and whatever way they used to connect to that. And it's still God. It's the same God, but they had their own ways of doing of having access to Him. And now what this did was they were very good at it. They were very good.
Sure, yeah.
Like good. It was based on it was like a phone call. When a phone call, you see how extended a phone call is. Like I'm outside.
You find that person.
Yeah. So now what's messed up about it? Well, I've been learning this year about spirituality is when you have that kind of a direct access is like every other thing in life. There's the bad. There's evil. So in the spiritual world, obviously there's a whole lot of evil. Then there's a whole lot of good and heaven, whatever that concept I'm trying to make. So these guys had the access to that, and some of them could see it. So when I'm doing this, I could also use this and make people do things that I want them to do, and then what. So exactly. So what they did, when they painted this whole paradigm, they made it look like it was only the only time our traditional healers could do that, it was about lawyer batho. It was never about how they were helping people and healing people through that same spirituality thing.
Sure.
It's messed up.
That's intense. That's intense. And I think obviously because I haven't like looked into it or studied it to that extent or whatever. But what I know and what I've always believed is the spirit world is real.
It's real.
It's so real that we don't realize how real it is. It's so real that I don't know which spirituality you might be from or whatever. I know for a fact that like the spirit world is real. Whatever energy it is that you go to or whatever higher power, whatever, that power responds to you, you know. And I think that's why it's also hard. I don't want to say hard, but it's hard that like we also explore such things where I'm like, in the traditional manner, this is what happens, because I've never experienced it. But somebody who has experienced it will obviously defend it and have the passion and do you get what I mean? Because they know it, they've seen it work. It's not that it's not there, it's there, it works and whatever. So, but I think that's intense. It's something that I obviously, like I'm saying, I've never looked into.
Because I learned what the traditional healers, because that's the thing, misinformation. That believe in God, they pray, and then they believe in God, and then they still do, they're accessing.
Ask yourself why, controlling when there was COVID. That was actually, that's just one of the things. Lingana was helping people.
Did you see what they did?
Drank it.
Did you see what the media did?
I saw what they did.
With that.
That was not cool. But like, I drank Lingana. And I remember telling one of my Christian friends, I don't want to say Christian because like I'm saying Christianity is very personal. I'm going to say religious. I was telling one of my religious friends. And I was like, to him, like, yeah, man, there's this herb, but it's like, no, but that's a traditional herb. A sango. That's why I'm saying I get where you come with this, you know. And for me, it was that thing out. Have our traditional ways of healing also been so affected that you can't just take a plant?
A simple plant
that God created, that God gave for us to heal to whatever, and we just switch it up. I think it goes beyond that. It's such a broad and a deep conversation, all in all. Literally, because I feel like it's such a big and powerful and broad and there's so much that I know I still need to learn. You know, I never want to turn a blind eye, especially because like I'm saying, when you grow, you realize how God connects to so many dots. Yo, so many dots in our lives and everything. So I feel like it's something that we need to familiarize ourselves with, like learn, especially as Africans, like you say. Unfortunately, we are the first people to bash our very own traditions.
We are.
Sadly. So it's something that we also need to learn and explore, and yeah.
We need to turn off that thing. I want that thing.
TV.
I want a TV. We need to turn that thing off. Because that's how they keep us where they want us to be.
I don't know, we want to be kept there.
In a way, but not really. We don't really have, like, I mean, look at one of the simplest things that could have changed our life, like Mzansi Magic. Like, look at what it has become. Like, when it started off, I had a lot of hope. But yeah, let me not.
Now you have your own needs.
I'm gonna say it. Whatever happens, whatever if I lose, like. But yeah, like, what it does now, it was supposed to be a platform for Black people where we could tell our own stories and, like, because I mean, Mzansi Major content is all South African,
Yeah.
But look at what it's Pomoja love.
Let's not do
the producers of most of those shows do not respect Black people. Because what most of those shows do is they just make fun of other people's misfortunes. Like, it's not the type of content that could make somebody feel good about themselves.
Yeah, and
I don't even know what they're trying to. It's entertainment, yes, but
at the cost of somebody else's.
like, if you see, I know I've said this before probably in an episode, but all the Black content that's there on South African television does not uplift the Black, does not motivate or uplift the Black child.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. There's nothing positive.
There
is nothing.
It doesn't. If anything, it breaks the Black child. It reminds the Black. It's like you're trying to grow, but you're constantly being taken back to your start.
They're capping us. That's why I think the people. We come up with ideas. We're not like idea this and that.
Yeah.
But now the people who have the money to fund your ideas are actually the ones who are going to tell you
what to do.
And they're the ones who will accept certain stories because they want us to keep thinking that we belong in the hood. We belong in this squad. We belong, like, we
that's our destiny. Not only is it like your foundation, but that's your destiny.
Exactly. We should want to work for people. Like have you thought of how messed up it is? Like, we go to school so that we want to work.
Yeah.
Like, you want to work.
It's your program.
Like, you want it.
Your program.
You want to work every day. You want to wake up.
You want it so bad.
Yes.
You will literally do everything in your power to make sure you get to that place where you get to work. Where you actually, like, it's an active thing. It's very active. Yeah,
I don't want to get it because I get in my feels.
One day you must just sit and just vent and just.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about the black boy child in our Black communities.
It's
like there's so much that Black men are doing that's hurting Black women in the Black community.
Yeah.
And I think the root of the problem is the Black child.
Yeah.
From a very young age they are not allowed to express themselves. They do not. Most of them have zero mentorship. It's like it's really messed up.
Yeah, it's just like it's one of those things where I don't know what happened when it comes to like, because obviously I grew up in a home where it were just females, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have the full view and experience of whether or not a boy child is being mentored, whether or not a boy child is being groomed right, or whether or not the man is, you know, actively doing something about any boy child in the community or whatever. All my life, me, I was exposed to women. Lived with women, grew up with women, still living with women. You know, but what I'm seeing, of course, because I'm not an ignorant person, is how much our foundation can really either build us or break us. You know, because like you say, so like, yo, my word, so many. I know I have a lot of guy friends who grew up maybe without fathers, or the father was there but he was just not there, you know, and they also had to go through a phase where in times of mentorship, or in times where a boy child had to express himself, he couldn't do that because it was deemed as weak, as stupid, as unnecessary. And I know this because I know at some point in my life I've probably been on social media and I've seen a guy cry and I'm like, why you get scared? I'm guilty of that. Do you get what I mean? I'm like,
because we're taught.
Do you get it? Yeah. But the thing is, it's not just taught to the boy child. Even to us, we believe it. As a woman, we believe, something about or whatever. Something like that, you know. So I know from a personal level that I, to a certain extent, have allowed to have been poisoned like that as well. But obviously now as we grow, these things change and you have a better view, you have a better understanding of who men are. Like you understand now you understand biology also. It's no longer about
and the psyche and the psyche also, like you can as you experience your guy friends or whatever,
you get it. You know, I've had guy friends who have cried real tears to me. And it was the most, as painful as it was beautiful. Because you get to experience that.
This nigga actually human.
And it's okay.
It's like, okay.
You're hurting, you know. You're allowed to go through that. Every emotion matters just as much as it matters to me. The same way, like, looking at the emotions, you have a heart, you have emotions too that you need to like let out. Do you get what I mean? So I had to learn that way. Men are just as human at the end of the day. The boy child is just as human at the end of the day. And I don't know, man, but I just hope that this next generation, which is us carrying that next generation, I just hope that we can do better.
What is it that we can do?
We know now that a boy child needs mentorship, or boy child. And I don't know, maybe this is just happening in my world, but I'm experiencing a lot of guys actually actively being there for their kids. Like, it's a rare thing. Like, it's rare and beautiful.
How fucked up is that? That's something.
This
is rare.
It shouldn't be rare, you know? So I know in my life, all my guys who have kids, they are actively looking out for their kids. Actively. I'm not talking no, I'm talking, I can't wait to see my daughter, I can't wait to see my son, you know. I've worked with somebody who every Friday take a gift, and I'm going to see my baby girl. And the mom, I'm not together, but there's that change, there's this beautiful change, and that's what I hope that our generation can be able to protect the next generation in that manner, where we understand that the boy child needs this. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, growing up, I know I was way more protected than my guy cousins. Fact. I know. Even if I were to have a child now, I'd probably be like, because I feel like less guarded. But why can't they all be guarded? Like, why can't you shield and protect
both of them,
the boy child and the girl child, in such a way that when they grow up, they will not have to suffer from the foundation of having not been guarded before. You get what I mean? So I feel like I'm saying, I obviously don't have much because I've never experienced it or seen it for myself or whatever, but now growing up and seeing it in my friends, in my cousins, in my, all my male cousins and friends, it's beautiful to see that they are learning, but it's hard because I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think you guys now cry and feel free. There's obviously a part of you that's still like, yeah, with you, whenever you've done the things of, but with others, they're still going through that thing out. I can't cry.
Yeah.
I know there's still guys who can't cry because they must cry. And I know there's still women who bash guys for expressing themselves because but I think our generation can do better, if I'm being honest.
They should.
Yeah, thing is, you can't go back. And I've heard people say, no, we can always fix the foundation, go back. You can't go back. You
But you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, you can't go back. It's done. What you can do is start now to fix
school.
Yeah,
the young ones.
The current boy child is what we should be working on.
Even the girls, both of them.
Yeah, but my point, like you say, like now, right now, this is like the time where we should be working on them. Because when they're gonna be our age, they don't have to go through how can we change it? They should go through I thank God that my parents did it right. I don't have to heal from my parents' hurt. Because that's another thing. The girl child and the boy child in this generation is still healing from their parents' hurt. And to a certain extent, I know some people might hate me for this, but our parents were also hurt.
I want to say, I don't know what was going on in my head yesterday. I was like, these people are treating us like this because they learned this from their own parents.
Yeah, they haven't healed like us. We are woke. We are a woke generation.
Well, they're not even expressive. They don't know how to heal. They don't even know how to go about it because they have those traditional ways. They are not supposed to have these kind of conversations.
If your child comes at you and corrects you, that's disrespect. It's
exactly.
Like, do you get what I mean? So, but it's something that we are responsible to fix that. Unfortunately, we are the Mandela, but I don't know how I feel about it. We are now the foundation that has to lay down a nice like a foundation for the next generation. It's up to us. We can't fix the past. Let's focus on
you can't fix the past, but you can shape the future.
Let's work on that because that's literally the only way. I don't care. I'm so glad, like I'm saying, sorry to brag about my family again, but like my family, and not just like my mom, my little sister, but my family, like my cousins, my grandmother. Okay, my grandmother, her kids, and her kids, type of generation. All those 4 generations. We're now going through everybody has to go for therapy. Like everybody. We don't care if you are 3 years old, you are my grandmother who is 89 years old, whoop whoop, we don't care. Do you get what I mean? We're not going through this family needs to heal. Yes, things are good or whatever, but if we're being honest, there are certain parts to us that we've never dealt with. And that's why it's so important that we are responsible to shaping that future. It's in us, it's on us. We got it in us. The fact that we are the woke generation, guys, come on. Like, we know better. So let's do better. Yeah, we know better. Let's do better. Literally. Legit. Cheers.
Yeah. Now I'm happy. I don't know if you want to drop more bars about anything else.
I don't want to drop no bars. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. I don't think I dropped any bars. These are just real life conversations.
They are bars. They're real life bars.
Are they bars?
They are bars.
Oh, I don't get to drop any bars and go, drop mic. Maybe like a sound effect from the back or something. But nah, I don't know, man. I think am I allowed to acknowledge you? Because I really want to. So I just, yeah, man, I think what you're doing is really amazing because we don't really tap into the next person's brain like that. Somebody's saying, then you actually get into their head and then you experience them and what they have to say or whatever. So yeah, thank you so much for this, man. Like it's beautiful. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm all in for it. I love it. I'm not complaining. And thank you so much. This was fun. I was nervous, but now like I'm chilled. Obviously, people are gonna experience that I'm very. I could do share, but like, like that's just me. I can't be anybody else but me. So be yourself, literally. But yeah, thank you so much for this, man, and big ups to you. May this thing, grow big, go greater heights. Do you? Don't stop for nobody.
I never want to stop. You're not that be yourself. I remember that used to. I think I still have it on my Facebook profile as my. Where's that thing?
Your bio thing.
My bio. Yes.
What's right?
Be yourself. Is it still there? What happened to that about button?
You put I'm a dreamer. There it is.
Now
you're a dreamer. You're not allowed to dream.
Yeah.
Dream.
Yeah. Every interview. So tell us, what advice can you give the fans who are listening to you? Be yourself.
But it's true, like just be yourself. Do you?
Every interview, every radio interview. So like, be yourself.
Be for real though. Those who are for you will be for like that's how you know because the thing is if you're not yourself now we're dragging the thing is if you're not yourself people are gonna get attracted to somebody that is not you and you have to now keep up with
being that person
and
not you.
Imagine that's hard. So I think that's really you just stick to doing you the way you do it. We love it. My mom always says it's always about that one person. Everything in life is about that one. Whether it's one friend, one person that you help out with that. It's a one person at a time thing, one person everything. When you get to a shop, you buy somebody groceries and they're like, why don't you buy for everyone?
Paid Forward. There's a movie called Paid Forward. You should see it's crazy.
Check it out.
It's crazy. It's
really good.
It's the concept there. It's like you help somebody in every way that you can. You just helping them. I don't want anything from you. It doesn't matter what you do for them. They just have to go and do it for somebody else. Yeah.
That's my life. I want to do that.
It's called Paid Forward.
So
Paid Forward.
It's just all about the one. One change at a time. One.
You can't save everybody.
Yeah. But if you do one, that's.
But if you can, if you're like
do that.
Mzebo Bill Gates, if you can.
You do that.
You do that. Yeah.
One person at a time and be you type of thing. This is the part where you're supposed to like show. But obviously,
yeah, we signing out. This is the Desert Podcast. It's been nice hanging with you.
Thank you.
Shout out for being with us today. I hope it was recorded.
Yo! Ooh, you can scream.
Imagine. Yeah. Subscribe, leave a comment, like,
share.
Tell us who you want to see in the comment section. Yeah.
Even if you're gonna see me again.
Yes, say it. Maybe Q&A if we want to, questions that you have for people I've interviewed or people I'm going to. Yeah, let's start being fun. If there's something you want me to do while I'm on the show, tell me. Suggestions, I'm open for everything. Let's grow. Shout out to everybody that's back every weekend, every week. I mean every Monday.
Every single.
Looking like never rush.